think that's all right. So guys, for those of you that don't know, we are continuing to advance with the U.S. military and our NATO allies, or excuse me, our UN allies actually, to try and get Saddam Hussein's forces out of Kuwait City and potentially move on into Iraq. Although that's actually not going to happen in this scenario. That's another scenario that we can play. But currently we're just moving into the actual city. So for those of you that didn't catch the first part of this series, we actually have it here on the Slytherin Group Twitch channel. You can take a look at it and kind of watch it after this and, you know, see where we went wrong or where we went right. I think one thing we can all agree on is the amount of air support that you get in this mission as the Americans, or more specifically as the UN forces, is unbelievable. And it's pretty similar, really, to the actual Operation Desert Storm. You would just have massive highways full of destroyed Iraqi vehicles, you know, no matter how many tanks they had. And they did have a tremendous amount of tanks and armor. It just wasn't going to stop the Americans and their allies. It's just not going to happen. So at this point, you can see most of our guys have actually attacked this turn, more appropriately last turn. We're probably going to turn this, wow, I said turn way too many times, over to the actual Iraqis and see what they do. As you can see, I have put some MP units at Al-Jabar Air Base. This is another location that's technically a victory point, but I really don't think that the enemy's going to come all this way. They'd have to go all the way through the desert here and hit us. However, they do have this highway, the Al-Abdaliyah highway strip, which can probably get them here in 1 or 2 turns with armor. I just hope we can knock them out before that happens. Obviously, we want to take the racecourse, the marina, the police station complex, and the barracks. And once we take that, I'm pretty sure that's a victory. That's GG. So we'll end the turn here. I just want to make sure we moved everybody. Ooh, we might be able to attack their tanks. Let's see if we can plan an attack. I'm going to have to bring in a lot of air support for this, because the engineers alone, I don't know if they're going to be able to do it. Although with the assistance of Coalition Papa Bear, this is a group of Marines, and it's called Coalition Papa Bear, we should be able to knock these guys out. The 3/3 tank regiment here. I'm going to try and see if we can group move some more Marines in here. And I believe we can, guys. The more the merrier. Success is excellent right there. And we'll go ahead and accept that. I'm going to push this tank division over here to the right. And unfortunately, he cannot join in on the attack. Once again, because he's likely already attacked this turn. Maybe we can get him. I don't think we can get him back here, unfortunately. Gonna have to wait a little bit. But we'll just keep pushing on through the desert, guys. One thing I am going to do is take this tank unit, and I know this is kind of frustrating, but I'm going to keep them away from the battle over at Al-Jabar Air Base. That way, if the enemy attacks us, there's no way they're going to break through. It's just not possible. We'll do the same with this artillery. We'll go ahead and group move the HQs. Ooh, we have to actually move the HQs a bit closer to our men. We'll do that next turn. But I think with the artillery and the infantry, we'll try and get closer to Al-Jabar there. Again, I doubt that Saddam Hussein's forces are actually going to attack, but it's just a precaution we want to take to be absolutely safe. Beautiful. Look at that, guys. Already moving more units back. And we've got some armored artillery here, although we can't get to it just yet. It does, Kamistar. Kamistar says this game does it all. It really does. For those of you that have never experienced the operational art of War 4, pretty much anything from, I would say, mid-18th or mid-19th century onwards is going to be available. You can even play, you know, this American Civil War, the American Revolution. You can actually go back a little farther. Somebody mentioned here that there's a castle scenario. I haven't seen that yet, but maybe we could take a look at it today after we play this. All right. I think I'm going to end the turn there, guys. We're doing pretty well. Ooh, wait a minute. We've got our Arab coalition forces here, but I don't think they're going to be able to move either. So we'll end the turn, guys. Let's just hope that Saddam Hussein doesn't have any tricks up his sleeve. Boom. So there we go. Already the air attack begins. Like I said, the amount of air support you get in this particular mission is pretty incredible. It's pretty hard to win as the Iraqi player, just because every other turn you're getting smashed totally. 60% of our turn remains, and we'll actually take a look at that coalition attack, guys. And that was with Coalition Papa Bear. We completely destroyed every single T-55 here. Incredible job. Operation Papa Bear, they did suffer some losses, but it was just an armored truck and a UAAV. So that's actually not great, but completely acceptable losses considering the attack there. So we're fine with that. And we just want to basically turn over to the actual Iraqi forces at this point, because I'm not sure we can do many more attacks. All right, we'll push forward with the Tiger Brigade as well. I'm just going to do a single unit move. I kind of want to try and cover as much as possible. And we're going to send this Marine unit towards the palace, guys. Obviously, this is actually a palace for the Kuwaiti royal family, but I'm sure Saddam has turned it into one of his pleasure palaces here since he has taken over the city. So we want to take that as quickly as possible and obviously knock out any units in the area. I'm also going to send this engineer unit out here for something you should never do with engineer units, a scouting mission. I'm basically just going to keep him here and see if any of this movement changes. But obviously you should be using scouts or helicopters for that mission. If you do it yourself, we're just kind of cutting the lines a little bit. Okay, we're once again going to end the turn here. Once again, we don't have any moves. We've been in quite a lot of combat. And there we go. That's going to be the full turn. And it's Iraq's turn, guys. Let's see what they're going to do. Are they going to do a counterattack, or are they going to move deeper into the city as they've been doing right now? Basically trying to consolidate those forces really tightly in the city. Only time will tell. We've also got some AA guns here. Maybe that's why we haven't hit them so much in that area. I'm not sure if it's cause for concern for civilian targets or something else. But we can definitely see here that they are moving into our flank. The worst thing imaginable happened. They're actually sending some of their armored and mechanized divisions behind our lines. So they could take that airfield from us. Now, I'm not sure. Obviously, it's only 10 points, but I'm not sure if losing it could potentially endanger our total mission objective. We might not want to lose it at all. So I'm going to do what I can, and you can see all these air attacks right now targeting the enemy. It honestly looks like they're escaping to the north to Iraq. That could very well be what they're doing. In fact, I think it's exactly what they're doing. A bunch of these guys that are getting hit are trying to get out of here, and I just hope that the civilians in Kuwait City are going to be okay, because that's some pretty heavy bombing, no doubt about it. It continues. It's even hitting their HQs, man. That is just beautiful. If we can keep this up, this is going to be an extremely fast battle. Okay, guys. So actually no enemy losses there. That's a bit frustrating. Okay, sometimes airstrikes don't work. What can I say? It's, of course, going to be our turn at this point. And since we don't have, a lot of the points, this would be an overwhelming defeat if we just ended the battle now. Obviously, we don't plan to do that. Okay, guys, huge numbers of prisoners of war slow the JFCE advance. Afternoon of February 25th, Cool Front moves across Arabian Peninsula, and huge numbers of prisoners of war slow Marine advance. Kuwaiti resistance harasses Iraqis. Beautiful. So we've got some Kuwaiti resistance fighters that are now fighting alongside us. To try and harass the Iraqis. I don't think they're going to make that big of a difference, but you know what? They can certainly help. So, every last bit helps. I'm also going to start sending some Marine divisions here to the Al Jaber Air Base to start defending it, because we know that the Iraqis are going to be sending these mechanized units into this area. And as far as I can tell, that's the only actual point we have. Yeah, pretty much. Let's also send our Arab coalition forces closer to the palace, although I'd like to give the Marines the glory of taking that structure, since they have fought for most of the battle here. We've also got, and I didn't even see this before, we've got some off-map ships. I'm not sure how effective these will be, but we're going to try to move these guys. There's a mine belt. I see. So maybe we can't move too close. It's not actually a border. It's actually a mine belt there that's stopping us. But we can fire. Look at this, guys. Wow. Okay. I'm going to try to get a shot on the HQ near the racecourse. Oh, my goodness. Here we go, guys. We're going to bring in bombers as well. We are just going to destroy that HQ. That enemy general is going to be in trouble. And, of course, we're firing offshore as well. Bring these guys in, and I'm going to fire offshore with them, too. Although we're going to go for that anti-tank unit. It's an armored anti-tank. Definitely a threat. Oh, look at that. We can actually... So I guess we threw our bombers on the HQ. We're going to throw our ships on the armored anti-tank. As you can see, we are firing into the city itself. We have no choice, though, guys. I hope that we're going to save more lives ultimately by firing into the city now. Okay, the push has begun. We're definitely in Kuwait City at this point. Just not at the various victory locations where we want to be, but we'll be there very soon. And I'm actually going to engage some of these Iraqi forces. Look at this. Got some Iraqi armor. I'm bringing my armor up, the 8th Marine Regiment, and I think we could just push these guys right off. I'll go ahead and engage these guys as well. We're going to have to plan the attack. And likely with this attack, I'm going to need support. So I'll bring in this Marine Division. And might bring in a little bit more. This is one of the rare sort of land battles that we're going to have here. I also want to engage these guys, though, so it's kind of a catch-22. If we attack here, we'll be able to destroy these forces and get closer to the airport. But at the same time, if we steer all our forces away to stop this advance, well, you know, it's just a lot of... we're really wasting a lot of time. So I'll send some Marine units over there. I'll also send this HQ and this mechanized division. And then the rest of the guys will continue moving towards the target. Bring the Tiger Brigade with us. That just sounds scary, the Tiger Brigade. And we'll bring this tank unit with us as well. Movement's not at its best. You can actually see over here the fuel that each unit has, guys. And this is partly because I haven't done a good job at keeping the HQs close. With some of the units, though, we're fine on fuel. It's not every single one that's suffering from it. But we want to try to keep these HQs very close to our men, especially as we approach these specific targets. Okay, wow. Keep on pushing. Okay, engineers are joining the fight here. Why not? Chance of success is very poor. Although, again, you can't always keep that in mind, guys. Of course, the battle statistics or, you know, probability, it's always going to be semi-important. But you have to keep in mind that a lot of other factors come into play. The fact is, we're probably going to be bombarding these guys heavily before we even begin the fight. So I think that very poor will turn to a good or maybe an okay. But we are taking a bit of a risk. This is probably not something American generals would necessarily do unless they absolutely had to. And that's engaging the Iraqis in an actual battle here. It's a little risky, but we're going to try. Now let's go ahead. We have liberated the palace, boys and girls. I think the Kuwaiti royal family will be happy with that. We want to consolidate that victory and put some more Marine divisions here in the southern part of the town. I'll also move that HQ unit up with them, although he's struggling a little bit. All right, guys, taking the palace is a huge success. Yeah, they didn't have much there, but again, it adds to our victory points, and more victory points equals a victory pretty much. Here we go. Actually, with the MP unit, I'll send them over here to the west. Got a lot of HQs there as well, and we'll send these Marines there too. We're almost certainly going to have to get in a fight with the Iraqis over that tile at Al Jaber Air Base. Could actually divide these transport helicopters, maybe move some of the guys here, drop some of them off there, and drop some of them off over here in the city. But I think we're okay. I think we have enough units to just keep moving forward. Okay, guys, here we go, ending the turn. And of course, this is just a part of the turn. That's our strike from the ships. Let's see how it did against these anti-tanks. I'm hoping for a lot, and it looks like maybe our Marines, yes, they won that battle too, guys. Can't wait to take a look at the casualties. But once again, it said very poor, and we got a victory. So you can't always trust the statistics or the probabilities there. Let's take a look here. So this is our land battle, guys. Major enemy losses, as you can see, but of course this is going to go in the news because we lost a few assault AT squads and some armored trucks. That's not good. Again, we should, ideally, if you're playing as the UN in this game, you should have close to no casualties whatsoever. This particular scenario, I should say. Yeah, everybody's talking about WeGo games here. Very, very cool. And don't forget, I mean, as far as I know, I could be mistaken on this. I don't stick around on the Slytherin forums too much. I'm just not really a forum guy. But I know that there are additional scenarios that you can find, not just in the game, that you can download for the Operational Art of War 4. I wonder what other possibilities people could come up with. I'd love to see some sort of IRA campaign like the Easter Rising. If somebody can make that in this game, I will absolutely stream it here on the Slytherin channel. It's something I would love to do. But I think it probably requires a lot of work. I'm actually amazed that you guys are discussing creating these maps because, to me, that just seems absolutely impossible. Okay, come on with the Arab Coalition. We definitely want to keep their HQ very, very close. Looks like they're pretty much just sort of reserve troops. Oh, wait a minute, we have a Special Forces squad there, guys. That is definitely a Special Forces squad. The TF Abu Bakr Qatar Mechanized Battalion. So this is from Qatar. Interesting. I've never heard of them, but clearly a pretty important cog in this army's machine. And let's get that HQ. All right, looking good, guys. Looking really good. Okay, we can keep pushing. So I thought our guys would be completely stopped after those battles, and actually most of them are. But a few of these guys can still move a little bit. Sadly, not enough of them. Okay, let's get these engineers over here. And I am going to dig in, guys, the entire group. So we've essentially set up trenches here with TF Grizzly. It's one of our Marine divisions, one of our strongest Marine divisions. And I'm hoping just they alone can hold off this advance. And actually, I didn't even notice this, but we've got a location called Ice Cube Tray here. It's another victory point, and we could swing around with these guys and maybe try to take that location, although it is a little risky. As you can see, after the battle, these guys aren't able to engage until the next turn, but it's definitely going to be showing up that we managed to take the palace location. That will definitely show up. Let's go ahead and also hit this mechanized location with a tremendous amount of air power, guys. And we'll just wipe these guys out one by one. Can we get another shot with our ship? I don't think so. Oh, wait a minute. We can! That's amazing. So, I guess with the naval ships, guys, as you know, generally in this game, in most scenarios, you can only attack once per turn. But it looks like with that naval ship, we can fire several times. And, hey, that's great. I love it. Also, thank you, Jeff Riddles, for making this this mission. Okay. Ending the turn, guys. Okay, let's take a look here. We've taken a look at the other bombardments, but this is the other coalition bombardment here. Yeah, managing to hit some jeeps and an infantry squad. It's really nothing serious at all. Not much of a loss for the enemy. Although at this point, considering how much damage we've done, maybe everything and anything is a loss to them at this point. I really just want to see the news article right now of the palace being taken. Let's end the turn once again. Yes, we do. All right. Iraq's turn. Here we go, guys. And they're definitely sending units over there. Of course, most of these units seem to be retreating, but a few of the units are pushing towards our airbase location. I mean, do they really think they can take us out, considering how much damage we've done to them already? I think it's a little hard for me to imagine. Wow, we actually just got hit by enemy artillery, guys. That is rare. twice. So I'm guessing that since we're getting closer to the main objectives, they might have some arty there. Let's take a look. We actually did have some casualties here, guys. Wow, so we lost an AT squad, we lost a medium machine gun squad, and a truck. Again, it's not a huge amount of casualties in the grand scheme of things, but in Operation Desert Storm, I'm not sure if anybody wants to look up the casualties, but I think it was like 60 dead total on the American side. So we really want to keep these low. All right, let's see if it says that we've taken the palace. No, we didn't get a news update. We might have to wait till next turn. That's too bad. I was really looking forward to that. I like to have my accomplishments lauded all over the place. What can I say? All right, moving into the airport with TF Shepard, Task Force Shepard here. I believe the task force could be some sort of special forces. We have taken the airport, but we want to, of course, get these guys out of here completely so that they can't counterattack and retake it. Look at that, guys. I mean, our Marines are fighting so well here. And I'm actually going to push with our tank unit and try to cut off this enemy advance so that not only can we stop them from hitting our airfield, but we can also take Ice Cube Tray over here. And you can just see this is a tremendous amount of overwhelming victories by our tank corps and by our Marines. Keep it going, boys. Unbelievable, guys. And I think we have completely stopped that counterattack. At the very least, we have heavily damaged it. And we didn't even use any planes. That was entirely just our tanks and our infantry. And we're going to push towards the racecourse, guys. I'll see if our infantry division, the 8th Marine Regiment, can assist here. We're striking their HQ. It looks like they got to running immediately. And the racecourse is now under our control. This is exactly what we want. Overwhelming, firepower against the enemy. And, of course, city locations. So I'm just going to keep pushing. Although, unfortunately, it's going to take a while for these guys over here to get up to where we want them. That's okay, though. It's not the end of the world. Oh, we still have a little Iraqi unit there. Actually going to try and send our engineers against them. And sure enough, managing to force them back here. We've got some more Marines as well as some engineers, guys, so we'll keep pushing. It looks like the international airport is almost entirely under our control. I would say that that's probably the most important location in the city, but of course we still got the barracks here. But we've taken the airport, we've taken the racecourse, we've taken the palace. These are extremely important locations overall in this particular battle. So I'm hoping that maybe the Iraqis will have some sense and simply surrender at this point. Unlikely. Unlikely, my friends. I think at least the people of Kuwait are feeling a little safer. At least in this part of the city, there's not going to be any more bombing, obviously. And, of course, the liberating forces are here. The people of Kuwait were definitely terrified, for the most part, when Saddam attacked. As you can imagine, Kuwait is a very, very, very tiny country. And even if it had a pretty modern military, I just don't think numbers-wise it could have beaten Saddam at all. There's our Task Force Abu Bakr. And I'm pretty sure the task forces, if you guys want to confirm that, are special forces groups. Especially the black. The black generally denotes an elite squad. So, for instance, if you're playing as the Germans, you have SS squads. They will be in black, of course, if it's late war. This is unstoppable. Thank you, Krupp Drug. So Krupp Drug is saying 146 U.S. killed, 70 of them by friendly fire and accidents. That makes, yeah, I mean, one could imagine that, especially with the amount of, bombs being dropped in this scenario. It's very possible that somebody could accidentally get hit, with a blast. But it looks like in most cases, not all, in this scenario, when we're dropping bombs on enemies all the way over here. We really don't have to worry about AA. The enemy has AA. We can see those units, but it doesn't seem to be effective at all. And I mean at all against our modern Air Force. Alright, we're moving up to the highway strip, guys. And once again, I thought that was going to be a threatening counterattack. Doesn't look like it. We can pretty much stop them, and one of these tank groups is going to be capturing Ice Cube Trey to completely capture our victory. Ooh, we want to be careful here. I'm going to push forward with the engineers, but this is very risky. We'll disembark with our Marines. Unfortunately, yeah, I don't think they can get out right now. Gonna have to wait just a bit. All right, we'll move up with these Marines. And it looks like those 4-1 tank regiments are getting pushed back as well. And I'll keep these Marines here. They're still dug in. I don't think there's any reason to really move them. They've got it easy. They just kind of have to sit here for the rest of the campaign. There's not much more we can do in that respect. I'll try to get this HQ closer. Still not close enough, but it's going to have to do. Yeah, I think we can just keep the MPs dug in at that airbase and be fine. I mean, unless the enemy decides to go right here on the border and kind of push in this way, I just don't see that happening. And I don't see them pushing through any of these Marine divisions. I mean, they haven't managed to push back a single one of our Marine divisions. It just hasn't happened. Although they have gotten lucky with some artillery strikes, but besides that, I feel pretty safe here. Let's end the turn. Speaking of artillery strikes, good shots, boys. That was, of course, our attack, though, with the engineers. That's right. Okay, 13% loss on the enemy side. Very nice. Okay, once again, the air strikes continue. They are not stopping at all. Even on these retreating forces, like you would think that, okay, you see the enemy's retreating forces, pretty much want to ignore those. Focus your fire on the ones that are still in the field, but no, we have such a potent air force here that they can bomb every single target essentially on this map, and each turn they're weakening dramatically. As you can see here, it looks like that counterattack is completely retreating, and I think they've decided to go ahead and escape. At least the non-Republican Guard units, the Republican Guards might fight to the death. Those are kind of the ones you see in the northern parts of the city. But there's actually a chance that that these guys will just surrender here. Although we still have to take Al Jara, the barracks, and the power station complex. But I'm pretty sure that this is technically a victory already. We'll see in a second here, guys. My goodness, that's even a heavier bombardment than the first turn in this entire match. Wow. So it looks like we're actually increasing the bombardment rather than decreasing it, and that certainly doesn't bode well for the enemy. Okay. Wow. That was incredible, guys. Let's see if we get a news update here. I'd love just a tiny news update. And it's still an overwhelming defeat, so we definitely have to take those other 2 points, but no news update. I still haven't gotten my name in the news with the taking of that palace. But I think pretty much before the end of this, we are guaranteed a news update. Okay, we're going to attack here. Again, this is just our Marine divisions pushing through the city. Get up to that industrial plant. I think it's also really important to hit those enemy HQs in the dock region We don't actually have any victory points there, but, I mean, you know, hitting the enemy HQs can only be a positive, I'm thinking. You know, knock out their command structure completely. Now, this might actually be a bit of a tough fight here. We're going to bring in bombers. Likelihood of success is poor. But if I can bring in more Marines, we might be okay. It's pretty risky. We can't get this tank division there yet. All right, let's see if we can get in this Marine regiment. I don't think so. They just can't seem to attack. Okay, hold on, guys. Oh, no, that's not going to work either. And it's frustrating when you are just unable to attack. There we go. Got these guys pretty trapped here, and we're moving closer and closer to the power station complex. I'm going to keep lashing out with this armored unit, but at this point I think we can advance and allow our other units to take the ice cube tray area. So let's push forward with the Marines. Hooah. Or Hooah Army. Shame on me. Here we go. My dad was in the Army, so I think I'm a little bit biased on that front. Here we go. Boom. Wow, amazing, guys. Ice Cube Tray is ours. I will, of course, keep pushing forward. But it's looking great. It's looking just absolutely great for us here. I think our guys are running out of bullets. The amount of rounds fired is incredible. And this HQ alone might be able to hold the location, but we'll keep the mechanized division there just to be 100%. North we go. Here we go, guys. Do a group move here. And I might actually keep our Arab allies behind. I don't really feel we need to even move them, to be totally honest with you. Thank you for following us, Puckhead. Good to see you, sir. Wow, so Kruptrug is saying the Scud killed 28 U.S. Army reservists. Thank you, Uri Blau. Yeah, you're right. 2 Battalion 3 for Regiment. I think you're right, my friend. Ah, thank you, Uri Blau. So he's saying Wakefield 1460 was the name of the medieval scenario. Well, we might take a look at it after this one, or we might move on to an entirely different conflict. We'll have to wait and see, guys. Okay. So we're entirely putting the trust in the U.S. Army and Marine Corps at this point. I think it's mostly the Marine Corps, though, in this battle. And we're going to leave those Arab allies behind. Again, I just don't think they're necessary. Okay, we're going to be planning an attack with just artillery. This is a bit awkward, but we're actually going to be able to destroy. I mean, there's only, you know, a few tanks here. You know, it's, of course, here it's just one, but I think it's probably better represented by, you know, a few more tanks. And 3,000 to 1. I mean, that's just incredible. Okay, I think we'll end the turn here, and let's hope that that attack works. Here we go, guys. Fingers crossed. So this is just what a standard bombardment is doing. That's the artillery. Worked out pretty well. But we're going to have to wait till next turn to keep pushing. So we'll end the turn once again here. I don't know how they managed to do that, but somehow, guys, speaking of friendly fire, the Iraqis managed to lose 2 trucks by firing their own cannons. I don't know what happened. I can't explain it. Okay. So yeah, we'll move out from Ice Cube Tray just to take on the rest of the armor here. Just get them away from this position entirely. And we'll send the Marines in to finish these guys off as well. Papa Bear. This is, of course, one of the units that has taken a lot of locations and, more importantly, knocked out a lot of the important enemy elements. But look at that. We're managing to stop that HQ. We can plan another attack, but rather have support here. So this is going to be a major attack. Look at that stat, guys. That is huge. The potential here for pretty much shooting fish in a barrel is just massive. So I'm going to bring in... Basically, I'm calling Broken Arrow in that location. Every single bit of air support I can get is going to be arriving for the battle. And we'll even move in with this unit, too. Can't wait to see what kind of casualties we can work up here. And if we can bring this tank in as well, I mean... Wow, I feel really bad for the enemy. Doesn't look like the tank can attack, so they get a little lucky in that respect. But you can just see the enemy is completely losing it. Their units are detaching, you know, trying to sort of escape in all different directions. And we're just not going to let that happen, especially if they go towards the airport. This is pretty much a kill zone for us. If they're going to push on any of our victory points, we are going to fire and shoot to kill immediately. Those guys are gone. I'm going to plan an attack here too, guys. This is the 3rd Corps SF Battalion, so this would probably be a Republican Guard unit. The Republican Guard sort of would be Saddam's elite troops, so if this is a Special Forces Battalion, more than likely that's a Republican Guard unit, and this dark red is sort of their color. So I think those are going to be their most fanatic units. Those are guys that are probably not going to leave those locations until we kill them. So we want to make that sort of the main target, let's say, for any sort of airstrikes, naval strikes, etc. Speaking of naval strikes, why don't we see if we can fire offshore and hit some of those units? See, most of the armor here is just melting away. Even our engineers are managing to force the enemy to retreat. Alright, guys. So at this point, we can move through the city extremely easily without any sort of enemy units stopping us. Of course, we still have locations to take, but yeah, I would say at this point, almost entirely under our control. Save the western part of the city here. Al-Jara Barracks. I think that's good for now. Okay, guys, here we go. So here we go against the Republican Guard units. Definitely beat them, but I want to see what the casualties are going to be like for our side. I think in these final battles, we could see some, not serious, but some significant casualties here. Maybe a few tanks, maybe a few assault squads. We're not sure yet. So as you can see, we did extremely well against the enemy. You can see the destruction we wreaked upon them is just wow. But we lost a few guys as well. Some assault squads, some wheeled scout units, etc. Certainly more than the Americans lost in the original Operation Desert Storm. But c'est la vie, I guess. Okay, at this point, I don't think the Republican Guards units have any fight left in them. Oh, they do! So they're going to do a last stand here, guys, at the power station complex. Once again, I'm calling in Broken Arrow. I want to get through there, and I want to get through there quickly. And we'll attack with this unit as well. We're going to actually have 2 battles going on here. Marina is ours. I didn't even realize that, but I don't want them taking it. I wonder if we can get any units up to the marina this turn. I don't think so. Nope, we're just going to have to hope that they don't roll over that. Okay, guys, here we go. It's ours. Actually, this is surprising. Let's take a look at this battle, guys. 2 assault squads killed on the enemy side, and they killed an armored truck, a wheeled machine gun truck, and an LVT. This is a victory, very tiny one, for the Iraqis. And only because they're using those SF squads. Otherwise, I don't think they would be able to really do much. Okay, Al-Jara is so close to being in our clutches, guys. Yeah, I think we're going to have to end the turn. And Dakman is saying 100 wounded. Good to see you, Grey Knight. Let's go down. Okay, let's end the turn here. I think it's going to turn over to the Iraqis at this point. They can go ahead and complete that turn, and hopefully we get that news update. But I'm pretty sure we only have one more location we have to take to get the victory, and our Air Force is back in force, as you can see here. They have retaken the marina, though. That's really annoying. So they kind of jumped, took the marina, and moved back. It's an easy problem to fix, but a frustrating one at that. Okay, guys, let's see. Do we get that news update? All right, so far it's a draw. We have to take that last one. Yes, guys, we finally got it. Let's take a look here. Okay, so the Kuwaiti resistance harasses Iraqis. That was the last update we have. Pre-dawn, February 26, 1991. Urban area has been reduced to ruins. Urban area has been reduced to ruins 4 times. Unfortunately, guys, we've destroyed a lot of Kuwait City with our bombardment. The power station complex has been reduced to ruins, but we've taken it. And look at this. Major General Mahmoud has been killed, guys, in combat. This is the main leader of the Iraqi army. That is huge. Absolutely huge. Iraqi forces are leaderless at this point. It's really just up to each individual unit whether they even want to carry on the fight. So I think we can pretty much win this one very soon. I'm going to keep pushing in. It's going to be the Marines that are going to bring it home for the big win. So I just want to keep on pushing at this point. See, attacking HQs is a good thing, my friends. Okay, let's keep pushing west. And honestly, we don't even really have to move all of our units at this point. We essentially just need to get these guys over there. Maybe move some of the guys over there near the Ice Cube complex up to the north. For instance, this unit. Something's getting in our way. Yeah, it's looking pretty bad for the enemy, guys. I think it'll take one more push, just because we're kind of out of range. but it really won't be long now. I mean, we are moving everybody into the city. I don't understand why that area is called Ice Cube Tray. If anybody wants to look that up, please do. Okay, let's go. Yep, we're just getting around that last spot, guys. Al Jazra, I believe it's called. So, end the turn. Of course, we're going to have a few different parts of the turn. No, it looks like it immediately went to Iraq. Awesome. So I think as we get to the end here, the turns will go a lot faster. And they're still getting hit by our Air Force. That just never ends, does it? You'd think we'd give them a bit of peace and quiet, but no way. And look at that, the Mutla Ridge. I didn't see that before, but they do have that 20 victory point ridge. We probably have to take that to make absolutely sure that they head back to Iraq. Look at that UN flags everywhere, guys. Okay. She's ours. Good job, Marines. That's the 8th Marine Regiment that took that one. And of course, we keep pushing. We're just going to get to the ridge there. And that's going to have to be a GG. Unless, of course, we run out of turns, but I don't see that happening. Wow, okay, I feel extremely secure. Let's just take a look, guys, just a quick look around Kuwait City here. I'm pretty sure that counts as completely occupying the city. There's like a few Iraqi units over here at the barracks area, but they've just got that ridge to essentially run away to, and it's looking pretty amazing. Might as well move the HQ closer, but after the enemies lost that major general, I think a lot of their units may have just disbanded there. I definitely don't see as many units. I know we killed a tremendous amount, but I think I remember a few more units in this area. They very well may have disbanded. We also may just not be seeing them right now due to fog of war. Remove this. Our HQs are properly closed this time. That's exactly how we want it. Move over Task Force Shepherd as well. Okay, it's going to be turn 12 for Iraq. It seems like we've been playing this forever. But it's actually one of the faster scenarios in this game, really. Okay, we do have some reinforcements, but the question is, do we need them? I don't know. So this is interesting, guys. We just got forces from Egypt, of all countries. Look at this. These are Egyptian forces, and I think they can actually go ahead and take Mutla Ridge. Of course, we'll bring in some more reinforcements here, but that's great. The fact that we got those reinforcements almost at the perfect time, really. And I'm pretty sure these Egyptians are going to just absolutely crash through the enemy. Success is very poor, but we can also give them our American air support. I'm even sending the HQ in for this. I know it seems crazy, but I've done it before. It's not the worst idea. Let's see if we can get in some more tanks and some more HQ units. Oh, I think we can. We can even bring in some Marines to assist. Although, frankly, I don't think we need them. Look at all these Egyptian units, guys. Just kind of here to finish up the job. It's going to be very embarrassing if they cannot break through. Should be absolutely certain. I'll try to get some Marines up there. making also sort of just a wall here of units so that none of the enemy troops can sneak past us and get to Al-Jada. And I think this is going to work pretty well. Alright guys, let's keep our fingers crossed for the Egyptians here. They're kind of our, I wouldn't say our final hope, but our hope to end this scenario prematurely. And that was, of course, a major victory there by the Egyptian forces. Just look at the losses on the Iraqi side. That is really just a huge army. The Egyptians have lost some men too, but just like us, for the most part, kept most of their units. It does look like the Iraqis were able to knock out about 5 of their M60A3 tanks. That is impressive, but it's not going to win them any accolades. I think we'll just keep it at that. We don't even need to keep attacking. And the turn, we've got it all. And as you can see, all of our air support is going in directly to that stack of units. Since they don't have units really anywhere else, I would be shocked if we didn't have a total victory at this point. This is a significant victory. Okay, so we already have the significant victory. Not sure why it's not instantly ending. I think because we still have to destroy the rest of the enemy army. So we'll keep fighting here. But we could, of course, end the battle at any time and still have a significant victory at this point. Pretty much no way we can lose. Unless, of course, the enemy does something insane and, you know, manages to spawn some units behind our lines. But I don't see that happening. And these Egyptian Rangers are actually really good. So we'll keep the Egyptian Rangers here attacking, guys. We'll keep bringing in air support because why not? And our success rate is already excellent. Not in the least bit surprising. We actually took a little bit of artillery fire there. And more Egyptian mechanized brigades, guys. It never ends. Wow. We're going to be literally rolling over the enemies here. Push through. Actually, we can target them with, I believe, some rockets. We'll bring in some artillery support and even some attack helicopters and, of course, air support here. Just making sure we've taken everything, and I believe we have. Yep. Okay, guys, move in here as well, and we just want to make sure they don't retake that area. Calling in Broken Arrow on this location. Okay, still 50% of our turn remains. Wow. We'll go ahead and end once again. Actually, I'll see if I can throw anybody into battle. I don't think so, though. Yeah, no. We'll end the turn there. We could just bombard them. Okay, guys, so once again, significant victory there. I'm going to go ahead and call it. Ending the scenario, getting the significant victory, coalition victory. The ground war in Kuwait is a spectacular success for the coalition. Kuwait City is liberated with amazing speed, trapping many Iraqi units and, more importantly, their equipment behind coalition lines.